What's up, everybody? Welcome to Musty Yeti's Tactical HQ. Well, today's going to be a three-part video. We're first going to be doing an update, then we're going to be doing another unboxing, and then we're going to be doing an install of what I get in the box if everything goes well. And as far as the update goes, I just want to tell you guys that my rifle is pretty much done. All I need to do is install the Bushmaster bolt carrier group and the Strike Industries charging handle. Now you guys might be asking why that piece of paper is down there. That's because the Bushmaster bolt carrier group is disgusting. I went shooting last weekend. I haven't cleaned it yet. I did, however, just do a quick wipe down of the bolt just so it didn't get disgusting. You can see it was pretty gross. So that's why that's down there, to keep my mat somewhat clean. This is new, the mat in the background. I've heard blue is the best color for a background for weapons. So hopefully it looks good through the camera. Let me know in the comments below if it is working or if it's not. But yeah, as soon as I install the bolt carrier group and the charging handle, this sucker's going to be good to go. Now there are some parts I still need to pick up. I do need to get a rear iron sight and a front iron sight. I do need to get sling attachment points. Obviously one's going to be a rail mounted QD mount, and the other one's going to be an end plate back here. So if you guys have any recommendations for those, please let me know in the comments as well. I do have quite a few in mind for up here. I'm not a fan of the key mod sling attachment points. I want to keep my rail, keep it simple, keep it clean, slick, smooth. I'm going to try to keep as much stuff off that as I can, off the key mods anyway, so my hand's got a nice good grip on there. So anything I mount on there, sling attachment wise, is going to have to be from the rail. So I'm looking at IWC's 45-degree mount. I'm looking at Fortis manufacturer's mount. Magpul's got a new 45 QD mount, and there's one other that I can't remember. But I'll make sure I annotate the QD mounts that I'm thinking of over here somewhere, and if you guys have anything else you can think of, feel free to let me know in the comments. Yeah, so that's an update. Now I'm sure there's a ton of you guys that are sick of hearing this, because I've probably said it in every single video, but I'm going to go ahead and go through everything on this rifle for those of you who don't. I started out with a Sequence Precision strip lower receiver. I then installed the PSA lower build kit, and that includes your trigger, everything internal, your pistol grip and buffer tube, buffer spring, and your buttstock. Now I did replace the buttstock with because it comes with the MOE, with the CTR from Magpul, because I wanted extra locking mechanism, and that's from my Waffen Works AK-74. I then have the Battle Arms Development BAD ASS, or Badass Ambidextrous Safety Selector. I have the Mega Arms Billet Upper. I have a Daniel Defense 16-inch hammer forged chrome line barrel. I have the Noveski NSR key mod rail, 15 inches. And at the very, very end, I have the Rainier Arms XTC compensator, and on top of everything is the EOTech that I've had forever. That's just to save me some money, so I'm to buy an optic right away. And obviously there's a P-Mag at the bottom with mag grips, grip tape down here, which are really easy to install. So I think that's everything on the rifle. I hope I didn't forget anything. So if you guys remember the last video, I unboxed that Accu wedge. I haven't actually gone shooting since I put that thing in here, but I'll tell you one thing, these takedown pins are pretty difficult to get out with that Accu wedge. So I'm hoping what I have in the box is going to help out with that. I'm going to go ahead and install the bolt carrier group and charging handle right now, because I want to just rack this thing and know that right now on camera this is going to be the first time this rifle is going to be good to go. So let me go ahead and eject the magazine, because this Accu wedge, like I said, is kind of hard. You got to press down. Just release some of that pressure. And alright, we're set. Now let's see if we can get this in one shot. Alright, so there. Oof. Nice. So I definitely need to lube this thing up, but it's, like I said, you guys are seeing it just like me for the first time. That thing is now ready to rock. So that's cool to see. So let's just go ahead and slide this sucker up here, like that. Get this out of the way, and we'll just do a little unboxing down here in the bottom corner. Alright, so there is the box. Priority mail. Alright guys, so I'm probably going to bump the camera because I'm centered on the camera and I have to kind of do it off the side, so if I do, I apologize. Hopefully it doesn't mess it up too much. there isn't much to say to really prep you guys for this. Let's just go ahead and get it open, and we'll go from there. I don't want to flip it over because I don't want to show off my information. So let's see if I can figure out. Let's just do it from. Oh, they taped it. Which is probably good. That didn't hold with the dam. All right. You guys might notice from that sticker what I'm holding here. Alright guys, so what we have here is Battle Arms Development's brand new product, their Enhanced Pivot and Takedown Pin Set, or what they call the EPP and ETP. Now I've heard really good things about these things. I've been trying to get my hands on this forever. I contacted Roger over at Battle Arms Development, begged and begged for one, and finally I got one sent my way. So I'm really anxious to check this thing out. Let's go ahead and get it open and show you guys what separates this out from other takedown pins. I don't know if I can get this. Alright. Let me keep this thing on camera here. Alright guys, so you might first be noticing that all this stuff's staying together. That's one of the ingenious things that Battle Arms Development has done. And let me get this stuff broken down so I don't lose it. Hold on. Holy Lord, that's a good magnet. Okay, well, I'm going to leave it together just for now. So you guys get your new takedown pins and pivot pins. You get your new detents, new springs, and the magnet to hold everything in place. And I'm going to tell you one thing, man, those magnets are really holding. So, like I said, let me get these parts up this side so I don't lose them, because that's all I need. Alright guys, so the biggest thing to take note of here is what they call the Easy Guide system on the pivot pin. Now normally you guys have to, put the pivot pin or the detent in the front of the receiver, pin it down with a knife, X-Acto knife of some kind, and weasel that front pivot pin in place. Well, the way it works now is that detent sits right at the edge here, and it's held in place by that magnet. And you can supposedly do it with just one hand, just stick it on there, and it pops right in. And then once it's in, you take the magnet off, and you're good to go. Other things to know is that these pins are slightly longer than your standard takedown and pivot pins, so that when you press the pin through, it separates out from the receiver a little bit more. It gives you more surface to grab onto and pull it out. Also, on the takedown pin, you can see there's a cutout there to get your hand on there to grab it. And also, I don't know if you're going to see it on camera, but it's got the smallest of serrations to really help with grip. They also, on the pivot pin, there's little notches there for grip as well. You guys can probably see those. They're indented on the top. You can see that. And I think they're also on the bottom. Yeah. So that makes it nice if you need to get it out. I think a round of a bullet, like a 223, 556, goes perfectly in those notches, so you can push it out if you have a really tight tolerance between your upper and lower receiver, where your detents are or your takedown pins are hard to get out. Well, guys, I'm kind of playing with them off camera here. They feel great. I guess you'd call this the shaft is nice and smooth. Those serrations on the takedown pin are awesome. You can definitely feel that. Let me go ahead and get set up for a different view, and we'll get these things installed and see how they work. Alright guys, so I just realized that some of you might not even know how to install the standard takedown and pivot pins. So I'm going to go ahead and annotate a link to me installing my lower parts kit in the upper corner up here. You guys can check that out if you want, so you can see the difference between how I did this and the first time, and now how it's going to work with the new enhanced EPPs. Some of you might know how to put these in, but you might not know how to take them out. For those of you who don't, there is a small hole in the front of your pivot pin. Now you're going to press that down, which is going to move that detent there back and allow you to pull out your pivot pin. Now you guys want to do your best not to lose your detent or spring, because once you get that pin out, that sucker is going to shoot. If you do, it's not a big deal, because Battle Arms has you covered. They're going to give you an extra set of springs and detents. So it's not a big deal if you lose it, but it's always nice to have extra parts. So if you can, cover it up, and if you lose it, stop moving and try to hear where that thing lands and try to find it. I'm on hardwood floors here, so if it hits somewhere, I should be able to find it. But let's just go ahead and take this off and see if it's as easy as it appears to be. Okay, so it's off. I'm not messing around. I'm just going to cover this thing up, see if you can... There it goes. Alright, so there is the standard detent. We don't need that. And I guess if you wanted to, you could reuse the spring. I'm not going to. I'm going to go ahead and pull that sucker out if I can. Alright, get these over here. Well, now that we have the front pivot pin taken out, we can show you guys the difference here. I can actually put it right here on this mat. Yeah, those lines show up. Alright, so it's at the bottom of that line, bottom of the line. So as you can see, one is a tad bit taller than the other. Like I said, Battle Arms gives you just a little bit more space where if you push this through, it just gives you a little bit more real estate to get a hold of it and pull it out. So, and you can see the easy guide system they have there. Hopefully that's focusing how it goes all the way through to the end of the pivot pin. So we're going to grab off of my magnetized bundle here. We're going to go ahead and grab one spring, one detent. Hopefully they'll let go of it. Like, oh! Alright, so we're going to go ahead and stick that magnet to the back of the pin. You can see it attaches there. We're going to take our detent here. We're going to stick it in that little slot there at the back. And it holds it in place, as you can see there. So very easy to do, hopefully, so far. Going to stick the new detent spring in there. Are these the same size? I forgot. I believe they are. Alright, and it's just a matter of... Here we go. Let's see what happens here. Oh! Alright, that's it. Holy hell, that was easy. So if you guys know anything about putting in that front pivot pin, it's not an easy task. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but that made it just insanely easy. Oh man, that's awesome. Normally this is what you look forward to least when it comes to installing the pivot or takedown pins, but now this is going to be more of a pain in the ass. This was easy. This is going to be a pain because I have to take all the buttstock off, the end plate. So let's go ahead and do that next. So let me go ahead and just pull this thing off camera. I'm going to get most of this done off camera. Alright guys, so I took the stock off. Now you just need to get off this bolt. You need your specialty wrench to do that. I'm going to do it off camera because I do not want to damage my threads. I don't want to try to do it on camera, slip and damage something. So I'm just going to go off camera. And just got to remember, that's lefty loosey, righty tighty. Hopefully I don't screw that up myself. So I got that loose. Now you got to be careful when you do this. I don't know if you guys can see that already, but there is the detent, or the spring that holds the detent in place. So you got to be careful when you back this off that you don't let that spring get damaged, broken, bent, any sort of thing. So we're going to go ahead and just loosen this up here. I think that should be enough because I made this mistake. Okay, let me get my little specialty tool here, the Ace Hardware angular needle nose pliers. I used that before and it allowed me to pull this spring out. And hopefully that detent should just fall out. There we go. There's the detent. This should go ahead and just come loose. So that's out. Now let's see if we can compare these. Let me get this. I don't want to get my springs confused. Let me get that out of the way. That's the old detent. So let's go ahead and compare. So like I said, hopefully you guys can see the difference there. Let's see if we can do the length thing again. So those are roughly the same length. It looks like the enhanced takedown pin might be a hair longer. But like I said, the biggest thing is it gives you those serrations to grab onto, and it's got that cut on it. So, alright, so let's go ahead and install this sucker. Let me get the, don't need that magnet anymore. But we're going to keep it attached to the old takedown pivot pin. So you have your new spring, your new detent. I'm going to grab those pliers one more time, and hopefully this sucker just slides in there no problem. Alright guys, this is me literally being just an absolute lazy POS. You could probably take this whole thing apart and make it a lot easier, but like I said, I'm lazy. So the detent is in there. I'm going to just use this and press it in. Might want to get the pin in there too. And then your spring. Like I said, this is where you got to be careful not to bend this sucker. So there we go. Now we're going to gently push this end plate back on, keeping track of that spring. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and just tighten this, hold it in place. And then before I go balls to the wall tight on this sucker with my wrench, I'm going to test and make sure Okay, looks pretty good. Let me tighten this thing on camera again so I don't ruin my threads. So that is installed. I'm going to go ahead and put the buttstock back on. That's just easier to do off camera. It's not rocket science. You guys can figure that out. Let me go ahead and adjust the camera, and then we'll talk some more. Give me 1 second. Alright guys, so everything has been installed. That was super easy. I can't get over how much easier it is with that easy guide system that they came up with. So these things feel great. Like I said before, you get a little bit more of that pin sticking out, so when you press, you get a little more real estate, like I said, for the third time, so you can pull it out. You got your texture, your indentations, that's so you can use your round to press the pivot pin out a little bit. The takedown pin, it's got that texture, like I said before, and it's got that cutout, so you can get a good grip on it and pull it out. So, alright guys, I am super impressed with the pins themselves and the installation process. Now you guys might be saying, what's the big deal? They're just takedown pins. And you know, it's kind of like, for me, it's like the charging handle. I remember when everyone was talking about, you know, enhanced charging handles and stuff like that. I didn't see what the big deal was. And when I got a charging handle with a little bit bigger latch, I realized how much of an improvement it is to get a better charging handle. And this is going to be one of those things. Now obviously it's going to take some more time for me to test this out to see how much I really do like it. But I can tell you right off the bat, super easy to install and it feels great. Let's go ahead and get this installed on the upper with that Accu wedge you guys can see in there, which really does work well. Maybe. Okay, we're in. Oh, maybe. That's good. Oh, hold on. You're having issues here. Oh, it's that Accu wedge just being a pain in the ass. Alright, so that's no fault of the B80 EPP set. That's that Accu wedge, which I don't know if it's really worth it, but we're going to give it a shot. So as you guys can see, it's a little flusher there, definitely lower profile, and they stick out just a hair more to really give you a good purchase there to push that through. So all in all, there is the update, the unboxing, and the install. You guys really should go check out Battle Arms Development, see some of their stuff. You guys know their safeties. They make the best safeties on the market. Now they're getting into the enhanced takedown and pivot pin, and I can't wait to see what they have next. They need just to keep busting out parts because I love their stuff. Roger, again, thanks man. I can't say it enough. I'm going to rock the hell out of these things. I love those takedown pins. They're awesome. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the comment box below. As usual, take care, stay safe. We'll see you next time.